team. Money, 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 money 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 team.
So my name is Charlotte Thompson. I'm an international business major with a concentration in Chinese. I'm a senior here at High Point University, and one thing that I really love to share with people that also kind of ties into my entrepreneurship abilities is that I'm a traveler. And even as an entrepreneur, and that's one of my motivators for being an entrepreneur, is that by the time I turned 18, I had been to all 50 US states. Before turning 21, I've been to 31 countries. Plan competition was very, very unique. I didn't know that business plans really existed, and especially business plan competitions, before competing myself. I had been involved in the elevator pitch competition back last November, and I'd actually won first place, so I was encouraged to participate in the business plan competition, which was in the spring of this past year, so April 2017, and it opened up this huge realm for me because as being one of the people selected, I was also paired with a mentor. So with the mentor, I was able to talk with them about my business idea and hear about their experience in the professional world that I haven't had because I'm still a student. So I was able to get their perspectives, talk with them, leverage their kind of connections because they have different connections than who I have, and it's all about who you know. So that was a very cool opportunity, and it also legitimized my idea to more people because I was competing in a competition. People are like, oh, it's not just some idea that's really far-fetched. It's like, oh, she's actually doing something about it. She's working at it, and it actually is a legit thing. So I was able to meet with more people and talk with people and say, oh yeah, so I'm in this competition. I'd love to get some advice from you and hear your take on it. I guess one of the hardest challenges I faced at this point is just my age, is that people don't always take young entrepreneurs seriously, that they say, oh, well, what experience do you have? You're still in college. Like, what can you bring to the table? Are you legit? So I think one of the biggest things that I've struggled with is my age and going into that, my gender, that they're like, you're a young woman, what do you know about business? And especially when you're starting a team, they're like, well, if you don't have anyone backing you, then why should I back you? Why should I believe in you? And that's when you need to learn to not only pitch your business, but pitch yourself so that people want to support you. They support you and your business. Because if you have a great business idea, but someone doesn't get the best vibe out of you, they're not going to want to invest. And especially when you're building your team from the beginning, you need people that are going to support your business and you as a person. Oh, that's a hard one. A hard but a good one. Yeah. Like I said a little earlier, was that it's all about who you know. Because you can't know everyone, and so much of the business world is just who you know and like what kind of connections you can make. So networking is probably one of the best skills I think you can have. My friends all make fun of me because the joke is I can go anywhere and know someone, or I'll leave knowing someone. And I've run into people that I've known in like Ireland, in Paris. I met up with friends in Asia. I've made friends in all these countries. And I can make friends very quickly, to the point of I was in an Uber pool with someone, and now we are connected on LinkedIn, Instagram, text message, emails, and we've been chatting ever since. And just the fact of a very small connection can get so far. And in business, you never know the kind of connection you'll make from someone. So the same with me is that I might know someone that could help one of my friends in building their business. And someone that I'm friends with might not know about the industry I'm trying to go into, but they say, hey, you know what, Charlotte? I have this friend that I'd love to introduce you to. They could totally help you. And so I think making connections and networking is the first big one. The second one would be that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. That is a quote that I live by, that in business, in life, in relationships, you have to step out of your comfort zone to be able to achieve success, to do something different. You can't get different results if you're not going to do something different than what you've already been doing. And change is scary, but that's how you advance, and that's how you make big changes. And as someone that wants to change the world, that's a big goal. And I know that I have to get out of my comfort zone and do things. So stepping out of your comfort zone is the biggest benefit. And there are going to be times that you get knocked down and you fail, but they will just be so overshadowed by, or like overlooked by, your successes that come from you branching out. And I think the last one is to not be discouraged, especially with entrepreneurship. Another favorite quote of mine is that entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life the way others won't, so you can live the rest of your life the way others can't. And it's challenging to do all the things that I do and be busy, and I sometimes forfeit sleep and eating and like social life and doing things right now which the normal college student wouldn't do or normal young adult wouldn't do. It's like, yeah, but I was in New York City for a business meeting last weekend when all of my friends were out here doing stuff, and I was like, yeah, well, I missed out on that, but I had this super productive meeting. And so by saying, okay, I'll sacrifice these little luxuries that I could have now to support my future, that's the biggest thing. So again, I would just say networking, stepping out of your comfort zone, and not being afraid to do what's different or what's uncomfortable, because you know it's going to advance your future. And it's hard, and it's a skill you have to work on, but it's so worth it. I think my leadership style is very inclusive of everyone, is that I'm still a leader and I'm still strong, but I like to include everyone. I love everyone's ideas, because you look around Entrepreneurship Club, we have people that are freshmen, we have people that are seniors and in between. We have people that are from the US, from Europe, from Asia, from everywhere. We have people, girls and guys, business majors, language majors, interior design, science, everything. So everyone's brain thinks differently. And if you have a lot of business people in a room, they're mostly going to think like how business people think. So you take a lot of scientists and put them in a room, they're going to think together. So my leadership ideas are about being able to take the great skills that everyone has and say, okay, you're different than what I am, but you have a lot to offer because of that. And say, okay, and it also just builds relationships together. I'm so for building relationships. And just like I said with networking, it has such a big value to it. So if you are able to, as a leader, create relationships so that people trust you, people want to work with you, people enjoy your company, but then still respect you as a leader, I think that's the most effective type of leadership. Because when things get tough and you need to take charge, they respect you enough that they'll listen to you. And it's hard because I am a peer, I am another student. So seeing me as a leader is different than seeing a faculty advisor, because we're on the same playing field, but because they see me as a friend, as a business partner, and as someone that cares for them as an individual, not just a leader. That's why I believe that we can have a successful club. I think that with taking risk in college is one of the best kind of risks that you can do, because there's so many people that want to help college kids. They're like, wow, you were showing so much initiative. I love it. I respect it. And college is still the age where you schedule a business meeting with someone, they're most likely going to pay for you because you're a college kid on a college budget. And people are willing to help you. They give student discounts, and a lot of people, especially mentors, they're willing to mentor you for either a very discounted cost or no cost at all, because you're a student, you're showing initiative. And a lot of really successful older people, and I don't mean old, I just mean older than college and 20s, that they say, okay, well, I want to pour into this younger generation. And if you're stepping out of your comfort zone and putting in these risks at such a young age, successful people realize that. So I would recommend doing it in college, and you have the freedom to travel a little bit more than when you're doing it in work. I have been out of town the last 4 weekends in a row, and it's busy and it's challenging, but I have a very clear schedule that I'm able to work with, and people like that I'm a student. And again, it's challenging, as I said, with the age, that sometimes there are people that aren't going to take you seriously, but then the other side is that Some people are going to admire your young age and your audacity and just ambition, that they'll back it because that you're young, or they'll help you financially and advice. So I would definitely recommend starting risks and going into business as a college kid. But then if, say, someone who's listening to this is already done with college, like, oh, I missed my shot. No, business is something that you can get into at any age, and the important thing is to start today. Don't start tomorrow, because if you tell yourself you're starting tomorrow, you're going to tell yourself tomorrow, oh, next week, next month. It's something that you just have to jump into, dive into head first and say, it's scary, there's a lot of risks, but I know that if I stick with it, the rewards will just be astronomical.
Money, money, money team. Money, 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 money team. Money, 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 money team.